Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Sunday, the 15th of September here. Hi, everybody. Ooh, I forgot to turn on my light. There you go. Better light. I hope everybody's well. We're going to continue today with some more of Hercule Poirot, Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, the first cases. We're going to do some other stuff as well. And yeah, it's all good. I hope everybody's well, yeah? First of all, last week I was trying to reduce the noise on the stream, and I was trying some kind of things. I'm not the most tech savvy person. So I was trying to do a few things, and what happened? Well, basically, in reducing the noise, I reduced it so well that you could not hear the characters speaking. Ah, so there's another one for the blooper reel of my mistakes that I've made. Who am I? My name is Brian. I'm from Ireland and I am living in Spain. Let me quickly show you. I'm living in Spain and where am I? Yeah, okay, here's Spain. And I'm living here in a city called Alicante, which is close to Valencia. Ibiza is very famous. Further up, there's Barcelona, Madrid, etc. So I'm living on the east coast of Spain, on the Mediterranean. It's a very sunny, warm, warm place. It's really nice. The city's not too big. It's not too small. It's nice. I like it. So anyway, yeah, big mistake last week anyway with the stream. Lots of people have subscribed. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's a tiny stream. Class A plus English is a really, really small new stream. And like I said, I'm not the most tech savvy person, so there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of mistakes I'm making, but I'm, you know, trial and error. I'm learning as I do it. And that's okay. What else is happening? Um, yeah, before we begin, if anybody is new to this stream, well, first of all, I'm an English teacher in Spain. I teach mostly online at the moment. I teach people everywhere. I teach people in Poland, in Ireland, in Spain, in Italy, in Kiribati. If you don't know where Kiribati is, go and check on Google Maps. What else? What else is happening? Um, Hang on 1 second. I'm just trying to get this working, make sure this is okay. Yeah, okay, good. What else is happening? Well, last week we discovered something big. We found out who was the blackmailer. Okay, we found out who has been blackmailing the major, and who else was it? De Silva, Ernesto De Silva. He was being blackmailed as well, I think. And we found out who it was. So I don't want to spoil it for you because when we go into it, we're going to go straight into that situation. So if you haven't been watching, I would recommend that you go back and check it out. You check out the previous episodes. There's a playlist. I think this is episode 18 or something. It's going on and on and on. But first of all, we're going to do something else. We're going to look at a word. I want to show you a word. Let's move on to here. And then we're going, all right, where am I? Yeah, here. And this is what I want to look at. This word. Riddle.
Riddle.
Riddle, as the Americans say it. I say riddle. Riddle. What is a riddle? It's a mystifying, misleading, or puzzling question posed as a problem to be solved or guessed. And we've got some synonyms. It's a conundrum. It's an enigma. Something or someone difficult to understand. It's a riddle. So we know, well, let's have a think. Famous, when I think riddles, I think, I think Gollum in The Lord of the Rings with Frodo, no? Frodo and Gollum and they're in the kind of the caves, and Gollum is they're asking each other riddles, yeah? Who else? Batman, the Riddler. That was one of his arch enemies, yeah, the Riddler, always with the question marks on his uniform. I don't know what you call it. We're going to look at a riddle today, okay? I found this and I thought this might be quite interesting. We'll look at the riddle. I'll give you some time to think about it, and then later on we'll look at the answer. So let's get started. I just thought the mute was on. Oh my God, I thought I was... Okay, it's all right, Brian. You see, I make lots of mistakes when I'm doing this, everyone. So please, please forgive me. Okay, let's have a look. 7 mystery riddles only the smartest 5% can solve. Let's get straight into it. Give me a second. Here we go.
Lets me out, huh? Hey, are you a fan of good old Agatha Christie novels? Or are modern works with elements of thriller more to your liking? It's time to test yourself. We're all familiar with typical IQ tests that rate your intelligence level after you've answered 40 standardized questions. But there are some other ways to find out what you're...
I'll put the subtitles on, okay, for any language learners, but this is YouTube generated, so there might be some mistakes, okay? But we'll see.
Your inner genius can do. We found several riddles that only a few people can figure out. Do you feel brave enough to crack them?
To figure out is to solve a problem, yeah? I'm going to figure this out. To crack them, to crack a puzzle, to crack the case. Hercule Poirot, I think, is very close to cracking the case.
Then go ahead and test your detective skills with these riddles. After each riddle, you'll be given 15 seconds to find the answer.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 7, jailbreak. Jack is placed in a cell with a...
Okay, we don't need subtitles. Jack is in a cell, a prison cell, everybody.
dirt floor, and only one window positioned so high no one could reach it. The cell is empty except for a shovel. It's hot and dry there, but Jack won't get any food or drink anytime soon. He has only 2 days to break out of the jail. If not, he'll die. We know what you have immediately thought, but no, digging a tunnel is not an option as it will take more than 2 days. So, how should Jack escape the cell? What's your guess? Don't forget, you can pause the video to have more time to think.
Okay, let's have a look. So this is Jack. He has a shovel. The window is too high to climb. And they said, no, we cannot dig a tunnel under the wall because we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time, and in 2 days he's going to die. He's going to be executed. Ooh, maybe he could like climb the shovel, use it as a ladder. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway, we're going to come back to that later on, and I will give you. We'll look at the answer. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the main. So once again, spoiler alert: massive, massive, huge, enormous, incredibly large. Oh, I've hurt my eye. Incredibly large. Spoiler alert. If you haven't been watching the previous episodes, maybe you should go back, get the playlist, and you can start from the start and go through it all and find out about the story, okay? So, spoiler alert, it's official. We're going to go on to the game. Let me just find the game, and we are going to continue from last week. Now, if you remember, I'm going into the story now, everybody. I did warn you. If you remember, last week we discovered who was the blackmailer. Who was blackmailing? Well, actually, look, let's quickly go into this. Let's have a look. We've got Angeline, okay? Angeline, she may be young. It's obvious she has a mind of her own. It's not afraid to speak it. Her life of wealth and worry for nothing has given her a sense of entitlement that I hope will not impede my investigation. So we found this evidence, we found out that she has a rocky relationship with Cassandra, her mother. She has matured from when we first met her, and she's unsure of the reason for the blackmail. Now, she cares about the Major. The Major is the dead Major, everybody. And this is it. We found out that the Major is, in fact, Angeline's father. Secrets and lies, everybody. Secrets and lies going on here. This is a typical Agatha Christie story. The typical, I don't know what you call it, a device that Agatha Christie would use is that it's a group of people isolated in a situation. For example, they're on a train, yeah? Or in this situation, they're in a big house for an engagement party. Angeline and Gideon are going to get married, and there's a snowstorm. Yeah, they're snowed in. They cannot leave the house. So then the Major was murdered. We found the body, and Hercule was there to try to discover who is the blackmailer. But then there was a murder. Yeah? Okay, good. So that's Angeline. She's one of the main characters. Then we've got Archibald, and he's the butler in the house. He's kind of like the boss servant. Yeah? And what have we found out about him? We found out that he's very stressed at the moment, and that he received a phone call from the Major. And he has a Scottish accent. We've got Cassandra. We haven't seen Cassandra for a while, but there she is. She is Angeline's mother. And she is abrupt and snobbish. She's very posh. She's hesitant to help me in my investigation, already placing the blame on the young maidservant Florette. I can see a challenge persuading her of anything other than what she believes. She's very headstrong. She's very inflexible, very headstrong woman. The confirmed evidence, she's broke. She's desperate for money. She's widowed. The Viscount passed away, her husband. She hopes the wedding between Gideon, who's very rich, and Angeline will bring wealth, will bring money, wealth. Spain is a wealthy country. Yeah, to be wealthy, to be, to have money. Now, Margot and Cassandra are longtime friends. The Major is abusive, confirmed. And the Major is Angeline's father. Cassandra had an affair with the Major, and the beautiful result was Angeline. Interesting. Now, Elizabeth is one of the maidservants. Herself and Luke plan to elope. We met Elizabeth right at the beginning, episode 1, when there was a theft. Someone had stolen a bracelet. Now, Elizabeth and her boyfriend Luke planned to elope, to run away to Las Vegas and get married. But Luke passed away. He died. Now, the third point here is that he died at the factory strike. Okay, well, I think Ernesto will explain to us what this is. So here's another character, Ernesto da Silva. He's the factory owner and business entrepreneur. He is driven, he's focused by money, by profit, and has little patience for time wasting and small talk. What is small talk? Lovely weather today. Did you see the football match last night? Yeah, small talk. Normal conversation we have while we're waiting for the bus. I was taken aback by his bluntness, by his directness, which many would consider rude. But it's obvious that the opinions of others do not bother him. He doesn't care what other people think about him. He's just focused on the money, everybody. He's an old friend of Madame Van den Busch and former business partner of the late Viscount. Now, confirmed evidence. Ernesto is a factory owner. He worked with the Major. security. He cares for Cassandra. I mean, bum, 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 bum. I think it's more than cares, to be honest with you. He was being extorted by the Major. The Major was supplying security. So there was a strike at his factory. The workers had united and they had stopped working. They were on strike. I don't know, for better pay, for better working conditions. And Ernesto mistreated his employees. Now, we found out previously that Ernesto gave advice to Cassandra's husband, the Viscount, and it was kind of bad investment advice. And the Viscount, Cassandra's husband, lost a fortune. So, Hercule is not a big fan of Ernesto, yeah? Maybe what he did wasn't illegal, but maybe morally it was not good, yeah? The idea being that he bankrupted Cassandra's husband and then, you know, tried to get in with her. Here's the Major. Oh, hang on. What we got? Ernesto was being extorted. It seems that Ernesto was being extorted by the Major following the riots. The Major wanted more and more money. So Major Felix Hagen, he's the victim here. And he's ex-army, very connected. Although he's been out of the... So let's have a look. Former Major in the British Army, Felix Hagen is not only friends with Madame van den Busch, but also well connected with the local law enforcement. Although he has been out of the military for some years, he still believes he has the authority and power over others. I would not want to speak speak badly about a former officer, but he appears to me, he comes across to me, he strikes me as arrogant and pompous, which I believe he considers positive and fitting traits to have. Kind of like me, everybody. Very arrogant, very pompous. So, he's ex-military. He was involved in the security for the workers' strikes. Papa! Yeah, that's right. He's Angelina's dad. The security that he hired, that he organized, attacked the workers first. And they're ex-military. They attacked the workers and people died, including Luke. Yeah, Elizabeth's boyfriend. You know, who she wanted to marry. Now, and the Major was extorting money from Ernesto. Let's have a look. Something going on here? Anything else? Oh. The Major was extorting money. All right. Fleurette is, we haven't seen her for ages. She was in the first scene, the prologue or something. We have Gideon, who's the fiancé of Angeline. And he's the fiancé of Mademoiselle Angeline. Although English is not his first language, he is well-spoken, which I presume comes from a prestigious education. I instantly found him rather charming and charismatic, and is clearly supportive of Mademoiselle Angeline, the perfect example of a husband-to-be. So, Hercule approves. Gideon paid the first blackmail demand. He's a supporter of the unions. Him and his brother Zach have an issue with the Major. Well, Gideon punched the Major before he was murdered. Gideon was protecting Angeline, and he was invited. Oh, sorry, he invited Hugo to the party, the engagement party. Yeah, when they get married, to announce their marriage, you have an engagement party. Hugo, trade unionist. He's the union leader. He was having an argument with Jackie Conrad, the American newspaper mogul, and he wanted to confront the Major as well, because the Major was responsible for the violence. Now we've got Inge. Inge? I don't know how to pronounce that. Inge? Is that what, German? Is that Danish? It says here she's a young Belgian servant of the house, like most. She comes from a poor background, but was still polite and hard-working. I am sure she has learnt the high standards of Madame van den Bosch. If she hadn't, I am sure she would not be here. If she... Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Let's look at that. Oh, I can't move it. First paragraph. If she hadn't learnt the standards, I am sure she would not be here. It's a mixed conditional. Yeah, it's a mixed conditional. It's the past and the present. Okay, let's find out. So she's become, seeing the Major's body lying in the study must have come quite as quite a shock to her. Whatever life she used to live in the past, finish action, it still will not have prepared her for that scene of the dead body. Now, everybody, Inge is following Margot's orders, the Countess Margot. We'll come to her in a minute. She feels a great sense of gratitude towards Margot and follows her orders almost blindly, without thinking. Could this lead her to do something she may later regret? So she's loyal to Margot. Margot got all her information from Inge. She didn't even think about getting her hands dirty. To get your hands dirty means to be involved. I don't know. What could we say? You know, you see these big South American drug cartels, you know, the boss doesn't actually touch the drugs, does he? Like, he doesn't get his hands dirty. He's far away from that. It's the other people who do all of that. Yeah, to get your hands dirty is to be involved in it. Okay, that's it. Let's go back. Anybody else? So that's Inge. Really quickly. Then we've got Jackie. She's a journalist. She likes the gossip. She wants the information. And then we have Margot. Ooh, a proud, strong, opinionated, and flirtatious. Socialite. Comtesse de Vos is a woman that knows what she wants and will not hold back in announcing it. I don't hold back, you know, I don't stop myself. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to say it. Running a women's shelter is admirable work. So she runs a charity for kind of poor women, poor homeless women. The world would benefit more. The world would benefit from more people in her position of wealth to do the same. So Hercule was quite admiring of Margot because, you know, she was very rich. She's a socialite, but, you know, she was spending some of her money helping people. So Margot does charity work. Margot and Cassandra are longtime friends. Margot inspected the Major's body because she used to be a nurse or something and she kind of knew what she was doing. They had a bit of a row about that. They had a row. They had an argument. Margot has a network of helpers. Margot is the blackmailer, everybody. That's it. That's what we found out last week. Okay. Rihanna, I'm calling her Rihanna, okay? She's the cook, yeah? And she's kind of like a matron figure. She's a motherly figure to the younger staff. We found out that she took ice to the Major on her own accord, that she's Luke's sister, dead Luke, that is, yeah? And she wants revenge. She's always talking about revenge. And then the Major turns up dead. Okay, we've got Zach. Zach is Gideon's brother. He's a bit of an alcoholic, probably. And he has kind of post-stress disorder from the war. He was a medic or something in the war, and he's a bit disturbed by all of that. And that is that. So that is the group of characters that we have, everybody. All right. So, spoiler alert, it was Margot, the Comtesse, who was blackmailing, who was sending the letters, trying to extort the others. And now, like a little child, we go running to Angeline to tell her, Angeline, guess what? Guess what I know?
Mademoiselle, merci for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Have you had a breakthrough, detective?
Have you had a breakthrough? Have you had a development?
I have. Finally, I have the news you have awaited.
Okay, good.
Please, detective, don't hold me in suspense.
I have finally uncovered the identity of the one holding the Van den Bosch name to ransom. I have found out who is blackmailing the family.
Oh my, I feel faint at the thought of knowing who could have done this to us.
I feel faint. Ah. Oh dear. Okay, relax, Angeline. It's drumroll.
It is said to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is Countess de Vos that is behind the letters.
Sweet baby Jesus! I would never have imagined. It's Margot.
I don't believe it. What about the Major's letter?
Mm-hmm.
Not only his, but a letter to Monsieur da Silva.
She was blackmailing him as well?
Mm-hmm.
Detective, I just don't know what to say.
She's shocked. She's shocked by the news, everybody. Margot has been blackmailing Angeline, the family, Ernesto, and the Major. She's blackmailing everybody.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of information to take in.
To take in, to absorb.
I just don't understand why she would do such a cruel thing.
What do you know of young Ingate's past?
She has never been particularly forthcoming with it, only that she was homeless for some time and that she was at the women's shelter before here.
She has never been particularly forthcoming. She hasn't been very open about it, about her past. She was homeless, she was living in the streets, and then she ended up at the women's shelter, which is where she would have met Margot, the blackmailer.
And it is there that the Countess abused her power and manipulated her to uncover secrets of the family.
All this time she has been working for Margot, doing her dirty work?
Right. There you go again, doing the dirty work, doing the bad stuff. The Comtesse Margot didn't get her hands dirty.
I am afraid so, mademoiselle.
Is the sound okay? I hope the sound is okay, because we had lots of problems. I hope you can hear the characters, yeah? If there's any sound problems, can you say something in chat, yeah? Because that would really help me, because I get a bit paranoid about it. And hello, everybody, anyway. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm afraid so, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle is in a state of shock to learn that such a close friend of the family has betrayed them in such a cruel way. It must be devastating. Yeah, pretty nasty, isn't it? Like, you're a family friend, you've known each other for such a long time, and you find out she's doing something really dirty behind your back. And, not nice. Bad Countess.
Is Maman aware?
That's Cassandra.
You are the first I have told, mademoiselle. Next will be the authorities.
Ooh, the Popo, the 5-0, yeah, the shades, everybody, the police.
I'm afraid that we'll have to wait.
S'il te plaît, if you please, maybe? S'il vous plaît, s'il te plaît? I don't know, my French is awful. We must go through the correct channels. We must do this correctly. We need to inform the authorities. We need to contact the police.
And we will. I want to see her punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we cannot telephone anyone, as the lines are still down.
Right, because there's a huge snowstorm outside. Nobody can get in or get out. We're all stuck in this huge mansion, this huge house, and the telephone lines are down.
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier. I had hoped they would be working again. Last night's snow must have caused more damage than expected.
Last night? They have been done all weekend, detective.
Hang on, Archibald said they were down last night. Angelina's saying they've been down, they've been cut, they're not working, it's been down. The internet is down, yeah, all weekend. Also, we say websites, yeah, like, oh, I don't know, Facebook is down. He's thinking with his handsome mustache. I've been thinking about growing a mustache, a Hercule Poirot mustache myself. I'm going to have a think about this, everybody.
Detective? Are you okay?
I'm thinking, how could I have been such a fool? I saw Monsieur Sterling talk on the telephone, but I heard no ring. Archibald was talking to the Major on the phone, I believe, yeah?
Detective Poirot?
It was all a lie, a scene acted out for my benefit to throw me off the scent, to misdirect me, yeah, to misdirect me. If I believed that the Major was still alive at that time, I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand. Anyone being Monsieur Sterling and his staff. It was all a lie, a scene acted. So he's on the phone to the Major to throw me off the scent. If I believed that the Major was still alive, I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand, what they were doing before. Anyone being Sterling and his staff. Interesting.
Would you like me to fetch you a glass of water, Detective?
Vodka, please.
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was taken by surprise for a moment, but I have regained my composure. A glass of water is not required. Would you excuse me?
Right. Poirot is a bit
Merci, mademoiselle.
disturbed by this, I think. Okay, so that's some interesting information, right? All right, chapter 7, everybody. Yay, we did it. Looks like we made it, yeah? So, Archibald was on the phone to the Major, but Angeline told us that the phones were down, so Archibald was pretending to be on the phone. Hi, how are you doing? Yeah, great, nice, yeah, great, yeah, okay, bye. But he was a very good actor. Let's have a look what Poirot says. My patience has grown thin. Nice expression. The guests and the staff of this house think it is acceptable to lie to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation. But no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. Let's look at that. We have this expression, my patience has grown thin. I'm getting angry, basically, with something, yeah? My patience is thin. I don't have a lot of patience for this anymore. Think customer service lines. You phone the customer service line, you're waiting for 20 minutes, the phone cuts, and you're disconnected. You try it again, 20 more minutes, my patience is growing thin. I'm going to start shouting. So, the staff think that they can lie to my face. They can lie directly to me. He lied to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation. But no more. We shall see how Archibald and his staff fare under some pressure. We're going to go to town on them, everybody. We're going to crack some skulls. Maybe not with Hercule Poirot. He's not really a skull-cracking detective, you know. I've been lied to for the last time. My suspicions initially led me to the guests, but now they are firmly placed on the staff. Mr. Sterling and Madame Rihanna cannot hide behind their lies any longer. Right. There she is. There he is. And they are definitely in the spotlight. The Eye of Sauron is watching them, you know? All right, good. Anything to investigate here? This is my room, I think. How's the weather? No, nothing. Anything over here? Fire? No. No time for sleep. Sleep is for amateurs, everybody. We gotta sort this stuff out. Okay, let's go up. Okay, let's go. Quite cool shoes, though. Yeah, come on. All right. Now we are getting down to the nitty-gritty of the situation, I believe. Okay, here we are. Back out. Who's around? Is there anybody around here? Who's this? Oh, look. It's Elizabeth. It looks like Elizabeth is on her way to see me, but it's such a late hour. It's 7:15.
Mademoiselle, what a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, we like Elizabeth.
Detective,
What? Spit it out, Elizabeth.
It is a rather late hour to be wandering the halls.
Nice word, to wander, to kind of walk with no purpose, yeah? Like, every day I walk to work. It takes 25 minutes. I walk to work. But imagine like I go for, or maybe this evening, or I go to a new city, I book into a hotel, I unpack my bags, and then maybe I go for a wander, to go for a stroll, just to look at the different buildings, go for a coffee, something like that, to wander. So it really means kind of like walking without direction, basically, yeah? It's a rather late hour to be wandering the halls, Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, of course.
She seems nervous.
I do not feel myself, Detective.
I do not feel myself. I can feel myself. No, what that means is that she doesn't feel well or something, you know what I mean, yeah? It's a funny word, yeah? I feel cold, Like, oh, it's wintertime, I feel cold. But also I can say, you know what? I feel like a coffee. I feel like a coffee? It means I want a coffee, or I would like a coffee. Yeah? I meet my friends. They say, hey, Brian, what do you feel like doing? And I say, you know what? I feel like staying in. I feel like staying in. I don't want to go out. I want to stay at home and watch an Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot episode on YouTube by Class A plus English. Okay, I do not feel myself. I don't feel well. I don't feel right.
If that is the case, you should be resting. Allow me to help.
Yeah, she's been a bit upset after the murder.
No, that's quite all right. I will see to my duties and return to bed.
Okay.
Lizzie, excuse me, Elizabeth. Lady Van den Bosch has been waiting for some time now.
Archibald, Mr. Telephone, yeah? We've got some questions for you, my friend. Okay.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Detective Poirot was just...
I'll see to the detective. You just head on up. Off you go.
Good night, Detective.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Bonne nuit, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle Elizabeth is certainly not herself. I thought the death of the Major had brought up uncomfortable memories of her beloved Luke, but it may be something else. Notice the pronunciation, everybody. Not uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. 3 syllables. Uncomfortable. Yeah? All right.
I'm sorry
Archibald!
about her, Detective. As you can see, she is still not back to her usual bubbly self.
Bubbly personality. Hi, everybody! Very bubbly person. Very extroverted. Very energetic. Yeah, very bubbly, we say.
This weekend seems to have taken quite a toll on her.
takes a toll. It takes a toll on you. You know, if you're doing something a lot, you're working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's not sustainable. It will take a toll on you eventually. You'll get sick or something will happen, you know? Something will take a toll. If you drink a bottle of whiskey every day, yeah, you can do it for a little while, I'm sure, but eventually it will catch up. It will take its toll on you.
She'll be right as rain in a couple of days. Now, what can I help you with?
Nice expression, as right as rain, meaning everything is good, yeah? So I was ill for a few days, and then I recovered. I got better, and now I feel as right as rain. I feel great. I feel as right as rain. Nice expression.
As if by magic you appeared when needed. I would like to speak with you and the remaining staff. If you could gather them in the staff pantry.
All right. We're going to have a meeting at 7:30. I know it's late, everybody, but we're having this. It's important.
At this hour, Detective? Is that really necessary?
I shall be the one that determines what is and what is not necessary, and this is very much the former.
Ooh, Hercule is pissed. He's angry. The former. Okay, let's look at this. I shall be the one who says what is and what is not necessary, and this is very much the former. If you're doing exams, you'll often see this, the former and the latter, when it's two things. For example, I enjoy tennis and football, but I much prefer the former. Okay, so the former is the first. Think of it as former, latter, first, last. The former. So I enjoy tennis much more than football. That's not true, but anyway. So what isn't important? Hercule here has said the former, the first one. So he will say what is important. Okay?
As you wish, Detective. I'll see if Inge has finished preparing for breakfast.
Right, okay. They're always working, these people, aren't they?
And Mademoiselle Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Yes, of course. I'll fetch her from the kitchen. Elizabeth may be some time with the lady of the house. Perhaps you'd like to start with us?
Fetch, we did this last week. Do you remember? I'll get her. So I throw the stick, the dog goes chasing it. Fetch, boy, meaning bring. I will bring her from the kitchen. It's in the previous episode. Right, yeah, I want to talk to the staff, please.
Very well. I shall speak with Mademoiselle Elizabeth when her duties are complete.
Okay.
While I am gathering the staff, Mr. Beckers is in the library. If you wish to join him, I could bring you both a nightcap.
Right, Mr. Beckers is the trade unionist. Yeah, he was invited by Gideon to the engagement party. He was arguing with Jackie. Archibald says, I could bring you both a nightcap. A nightcap is basically the last drink of the night. You know what I mean? Like something like, I don't know, some whiskey or something like that. That is a nightcap, to cap the night, to finish the night.
I wish to keep a clear head, but there is something I wish to discuss with Monsieur Beckers.
Okay. This is my opportunity to confront Beckers about his dealings, or lack thereof, with Monsieur de Silva, the factory owner, without being disturbed. Okay, we have a bone to pick. If I have a bone to pick with someone, it means I have a problem with them, yeah? I go into work, my boss says, Brian, I have a bone to pick with you. I'm like, oh my God, what have I done now? To have a bone to pick with them. So Hercule definitely has a bone to pick with Senor Beckers. Oh, so where are we going? No, we're going to the salon or the library. Is it here? Here, the library, okay. Oi, Beckers! Alright, mate. How's it going? Let's load. Loading, loading, loading. What time's it? 12:15. Okay, where are you, Beckers? I'm looking for you. It's a book. There he is. It must be from the library. I wonder if this story would match the excitement of this weekend. Good point, Poirot. Well, I don't think murder is really an excitement, but anyway. Should we just have a quick look at the fire, everybody? Just before to collect your thoughts. A roaring fire. Arr! I could stand and gaze into the flames for hours to look into the flames. Who's this? Is this kind of like a Buddha, or is it like one of the Queen Victoria or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to Beckers. Oi, Beckers, come here. I've got a bone to pick with you.
Mr. Beckers, it is rather late. The other guests have already retired to their rooms.
I didn't even see the time. It's easy to lose oneself in a library this impressive.
That is something we can agree on, monsieur.
Actually, wait. Hang on. I want to do something else. I want to go on to the quiz. Is that working? Okay, internet. Sorry, I completely forgot. But before we start a new conversation with Hugo for another 10 minutes, let's go on to the riddle. Now, what was his name? Jack. Yeah, he's in prison. He's got a shovel. He's got 2 days. That's too high. He can't climb out of the window. And he's going to get like executed in 2 days. And they said he can't dig a tunnel. Anybody have any ideas about what is the solution to the riddle? He could climb up the ladder, maybe. He could try to, I don't know, pull himself up with it or something. I don't know. Let's have a look. I'm going to give you the answer now. If you're watching this, you can just pause the video, you can pause the stream, and try to think about it yourself in your own time. But we're going to go forward, okay? What could be done? Maybe he could try to smash the wall. I wonder if it's possible to climb the ladder, climb the shovel.
Here's the answer.
Okay, everybody. Here it comes. Any ideas? Let's check it out.
Well, the way out for Jack turned out to be a piece of cake. He had to use the shovel to make a pile of dirt under the window, climb on it, and escape from the cell. Seriously, who secures prisoners this way?
So, what did he do? He digs a hole, he makes a pile of earth to use to climb up and get out the window. Okay, that's quite straightforward. Shall we do another one?
All right, number 6. A stolen necklace. Mrs. Smith went to the police claiming that her vintage necklace was missing. The woman was upset. When the police arrived, they saw no signs of a break-in. No messed up locks, no misplaced doors. Only one window was broken. There was a total mess inside the house and dirty footprints all over the floor. Surprisingly, the next day, Mrs. Smith was arrested for fraud. Why?
So there was a vintage necklace or bracelet or something like in Hercule's at the beginning of the game. But she was arrested for fraud, maybe insurance fraud. She insured the necklace to insure it for loss or damage or theft. Then she claimed there has been a theft, and then she was caught. She was arrested for trying to steal the money. Okay, we'll come back to that one later on, everybody. So that's the second riddle of today. Okay, let's go back to Beckers. We have a bone to pick with him. We'll come back. We'll get the answer for that one in a minute, okay? Is it on? Okay.
I suppose I should be heading.
I suppose I should be heading. Now, this is a very typical expression we use in English, meaning going. I meet my friend in the street. I say, where are you heading? Oh, I'm heading to work. Or I go to visit a friend. It's quite late. It's 8:15, like here. I think, oh, it's 8:15. I should be heading home. I should be going home. Yeah? To head out. I'm bored. I've been in my house all day. I'm going to head out for a while and go for a wander. There you go. Anyway, I suppose you just stay right here, Beckers.
A moment, monsieur.
Yeah.
There are some matters that we must discuss.
Yes.
Oh, what is it, detective?
You know. You know. Okay. Right. So, I did not realize your relationship with Jackie Conrad was so business-orientated. I was wondering, did your speech go the way you expected? I understand Monsieur de Silva had prepared a deal. Yeah, they had, but he hadn't signed it.
A deal? It was an insult.
So they had a deal drawn up, like you draw up a contract. De Silva had signed it, but Hugo hadn't. And he's saying it was an insult.
And that is why you did not sign it?
Okay.
I didn't sign it because the workers deserve so much more, not his pathetic attempts to get them back to work.
Right, so it wasn't sufficient enough.
Did you think there was a chance for a better deal to be made?
I know there was. He's a pompous swine that cares for only himself and filling his pockets.
To be very pompous, to be very arrogant. A swine is a pig, so he's a pompous pig that cares for only himself and money, filling his pockets full of money. I'm sure I have heard that description of Monsieur de Silva before, or at least something similar. Let's talk about Jackie Conrad. Hugo.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You know exactly what I mean. Hugo.
A proposal to make you somewhat of a star, a figurehead for the working man. What would you call that?
A star!
There was certainly no talk of making me a star. That is not the type of man I am. She wanted to write a piece on my work with the union, and I was happy to oblige.
Right. Okay, so she's going to write a piece, an article about the struggles, I suppose you would say, and Hugo, not wanting to be a star, was happy to oblige. He was happy to go along with it. Monsieur Becker has always appeared to have the worker intentions at the forefront of his decisions, but perhaps the thought of being remembered for something great was too much for him to pass up. To pass up something. Someone offers me something. Somebody offers me, I don't know what, an opportunity or something like that, and I say no, I would decline. Someone says, hey, do you want this bicycle? Yeah, I bought a new bicycle. I've got my old bicycle. It's really good. Do you want it? I say, no, thank you. I passed up the opportunity. Yeah. Or someone says, look, I've got 2 tickets for the basketball match tonight, the basketball game. Do you want to come? I say, no, I'm really tired. I'll have to pass. Yeah, I'll pass up the opportunity. Yeah, it's to kind of reject or decline. Excuse me. And this was too much for him to decline, this opportunity to become a star. Okay, I was wondering, did your speech go the way you expected it?
My speech? I'm not sure what speech.
You may save your false ramblings for your next audience. I am aware you spoke with the Major yesterday.
You may save your false ramblings for your next audience. To ramble, yeah, to ramble is to go on and on about off topic, to go on about different things. Think Donald Trump giving a speech, basically. He's just rambling, making no sense. I know you spoke with the Major yesterday, Hugo.
Whoever told you that has it wrong, Detective.
Are you denying it?
Please, monsieur, the truth.
Okay, fine. Yes, the Major and I spoke, but it was not for long.
Jesus, he cracked under pressure there, didn't he, everybody? Yeah? So, yes, we spoke, but not for long. What was the manner of your conversation? From what I understand, it was not a light-hearted chat. Okay, what was it about? And it seemed light-hearted means kind of funny, not serious, yeah? The opposite of serious, he's a very light-hearted person, whereas he is a very serious person. So he's saying it was not a light-hearted chat, it was a serious conversation. What was it about?
I was trying to convince him to speak with Ernesto. It's time we brought the strikes to an end.
Right, okay, so he's trying to broker a deal, maybe, yeah? Ernesto is the factory owner. The Major supplied the security, the thugs that killed some of the workers, and Hugo is the boss, yeah? The trade union boss.
And that was best approached by a shouting match?
Absolutely. Tried, trusted, negotiating tactic.
He wouldn't listen to what I said. I spent so long preparing how I was going to convince him, but men like him are only swayed by one thing: money.
Money. Monsieur Becker is not wrong. Had he tried to grease the Major's palm, perhaps he would have been more successful. Ooh, look at this expression. To grease, this is your palm of your hand. To grease someone's hand is to bribe, to offer them money, to grease somebody's hand. Typical in like the American films, you see the guy, he's going into the restaurant's full, so he greases the palm of the matron d', and then he gets the best table in the restaurant or something like that, So to grease someone's palm, to make things go smoothly, a financial incentive.
It is said that money is the root of all evil, but it can also be a rather powerful bargaining chip.
Okay, idiom of money. Money is the root of all evil. I think it comes from the Bible. It's that old, yeah? Money is the problem. Money is the cause of all trouble. But it can also be a rather powerful bargaining chip in negotiations, to bargain, to make a deal. A chip is like poker. You put the chip in when you're at the casino. Not chips that you eat. Poker chips, think.
Well, he was bargaining with people's lives. If he had acted sooner, none of those men, my men, would have to die.
Strong words, Hugo. The Major oversaw security at the factory. Could it have done more to stop the strikes turning violent? Let's push on Jacqueline's influence. What does she know about you, Hugo?
Mademoiselle Conrad can be quite convincing, can she not?
Okay, it's a bit funny, this language. Mademoiselle Conrad can be quite convincing, can she not? Okay, really, as a question tag, I would say she can be quite convincing, can't she? Can't she? That would be much more kind of typical in today's language.
She has certainly taken several wealthy business partners by surprise with her knowledge and prowess. She knows how to use her womanly powers to get what she wants.
With her knowledge and skill, she knows how to use her womanly powers to get what she wants. Okay.
But she did not surprise or use you?
I was not used by her, manipulated, yeah?
Me? Used me? Don't be ridiculous, detective. There were no games played at my expense.
Monsieur Beckers has quite a way with words and is a fan of his own voice. Perhaps I should allow him the opportunity to speak and open up without too much interruption and forcefulness, yeah? We've got two choices. Even though she was able to convince you not to sign a deal, suggestive. I'm sure many have been persuaded by her feminine prowess. I don't know, oh dear. Let's go for curious.
No, she just reminded me of what I was fighting for.
You were used. You were manipulated. Or you claim that you refused Monsieur de Silva's deal as it was not adequate for your men? Okay, direct.
And I stand by that. It was an insult.
I stand by my decision. I defend my decision.
A rather bold move to make such a decision on your own.
A rather brave decision. A rather brave move. You are prepared. Are you prepared to take responsibility for your actions or lack thereof? Your job is to support the workers, but nothing you have done has got them any closer to the results. Now, I kind of like Hugo. I think Hercule generally likes Hugo. But I'm a bit I'm not angry. I'm disappointed, everybody, that he hasn't done what he promised. So we're going to be honest with him. It's time to smell the coffee, Hugo.
I may not be perfect, but I've done everything I can.
Your efforts fell short in every respect. You claim to be the voice of the people, but you care about no one's voice or benefits but your own.
Oh, harsh, Hercule, harsh. Cutting. A very cutting remark, yeah? You claim to be the voices of people, but you only care about your own voice and your own stardom.
It's not as easy as just signing a piece of paper, Detective. It is a heavy weight to bear on one's shoulders.
It's a heavy weight.
With others.
It's a heavy weight to bear on your shoulders. There's a lot of pressure, yeah? I consulted with others. Look, he's looking sad. I was I was listening to a podcast this week on the history of beards. But I'm not going to go into it because it's a bit strange. But anyway, there you go.
You yourself spoke of Mademoiselle Conrad's cunning in business.
You yourself spoke of Jackie Conrad's cunning in business. Cunning, intelligence, kind of sly. We say as cunning as a fox, you know? It's a very... It's an intelligence, but it's like because you want to eat all the chickens. Do you know what I mean? To be very cunning. And so I suppose in business you have to be cunning. You have to be one step ahead of everybody else.
And I told you, I was not one of her targets.
Jackie.
Tell me then, what was it she reminded you of? The acclaimed man of the people you would be known as if you pushed the factory owners for more?
It wasn't like that at all.
Is he chasing the clout, everybody? Is he chasing the fame and stardom?
From where I am standing, it was she that was manipulating the terms of the deal, and you in the process.
Jackie was manipulating the terms of the deal and also manipulating Hugo, the boss.
You were merely her pawn.
A pawn in a game of chess.
Okay, yes, I know. I shouldn't have listened to her. But what else could I do? Remain an unknown my whole life? I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt.
Too late, Hugo. Too late.
It may not have been your intention, but we both know the result. You rolled the dice with those men's lives for fame, and you lost.
And you lost. You rolled the dice. You took a chance, yeah, for fame, and unfortunately, those men got killed, and you lost. Okay, this is a bit random. Yeah? So one minute I'm accusing him of like being responsible for people's death. Pardon my intrusion, but are you from a large family? Huh?
What does that have to do with anything?
Good question, Hugo.
I have often wondered about the competition siblings face in a large family.
Sibling rivalry. Siblings. I have two siblings. I have two sisters, yeah? Brothers and sisters. You see this in the exams, the IELTS, the Cambridge exams. How many siblings do you have? Yeah? How many brothers and sisters? Yeah?
When you're young, it is the best feeling to know you have family that will stand by you, without even being asked.
When you were young, it's the best feeling to know you have family that will stand by you, that will support you without even being asked.
It is not until everyone starts carving their own path that you realize you're walking yours solo, and those that were beside you are now miles away.
Right, it's very true, isn't it? Yeah, you can be very, very close, maybe a close-knit family. But then, you know, as time moves on, people go their own ways, they're having their own lives, and people become less close. Less close, I suppose you would say, you know?
My older brothers were the athletes of the family. They both played soccer, and were the infatuation of every teenage girl. I'm sure you have seen the type.
Yeah, of course.
Oui, monsieur, but I can assure you that was not I.
Hercule is being honest, yeah? He wasn't a jock, everybody. He wasn't a jock at university or at school.
Then there was me. Quiet, timid, a shadow of the Becker brothers. My voice and very presence was forgotten and ignored. Nothing I could say or do would ever reach the bar they had set. But I always knew I was destined for great things.
Ooh.
Years passed, and now that I no longer stood in the colossal ombre of my brothers, I could become my own man. When the position of union leader was posted, it was my chance to finally be heard.
Right. Okay, so his brothers were the kind of sports guys, really popular, the jocks, as they say in America, you know? And he's the timid, shy, kind of introverted guy, but he knew he was destined for greatness. And years passed, and now that I no longer stood in the colossal ombre, as he said, of my brothers, which I imagine, I don't know, I presume this is the shadow, to be in someone's shadow of my brothers, I could become my own man. When the position of union leader was posted, it was my chance to finally be heard. Okay, good. Now we have a shadow. We have a shadow from the hand, but maybe if it's a really hot day here in Alicante, I don't sit in the shadow. I go and sit under a tree because of the shade. Okay, so it's two different words, yeah? So it's like a very shady street, lots of trees, yeah? So it's very nice. But you have your shadow, the shadow of my hand. Shadow puppets, you know?
You hear politicians speak of the little or the common man? Well, that was me. And I knew what we wanted and what we needed. When I spoke, others listened. I held their gaze with a sense of pride, a sense that what I was doing was for the greater good.
He's got a weird accent. I'm trying to work it out. It's kind of, is it American? An American doing a French accent? Hi, he's the common man. Hi, R. Mac. Yeah, well, he's the union leader, Hugo, but there's stuff going on with Jackie, the newspaper thing. He has this kind of, you know, ego, doesn't he? He wants to be famous. You hear politicians speak of the little or the common man. Well, that was me, and I knew what we wanted and what we needed. When I spoke, others listened. I held their gaze. With a sense of pride. I can't do that. A sense that I was doing what was for the greater good. So it's not about him, it's about the people.
It was supposed to be my
Shoulder
crowning
pads.
achievement. Lead the men to victory over the money-grabbing oppressors. But instead, all I did was lead them to their deaths.
He does kind of look like a history teacher, really, doesn't he, with his shoulder pads and the kind of brown jacket. It was supposed to be my crowning achievement, my greatest achievement, to lead the men to victory over the money-grabbing capitalist oppressors. But instead, All I did was lead them to their deaths. That's right, Hugo.
Monsieur, it was not at your hands that these men died. The blame cannot lie solely on your shoulders.
Really?
Those responsible will be punished for their crimes. That you must trust.
Wow. Hercule is on a mission here. He's on a revenge mission. Yeah, people will be punished. Everybody, Monsieur Becker's story is one of fighting to have one's voice heard, but it is be it a single or one of the masses. I'm afraid he may be remembered for what he did, but not in the way he so hoped. He's going to be remembered for the massacre of the factory. I think we're done. I think we are done, Hugo. I am going to go and look at the fire. I think that's enough for today. We need to talk to the staff. We need to talk to the servants in the pantry. And maybe we could do that now. Shall we do the riddle first anyway? Yeah, let's have a look at this. Okay, so what was it? There was a fraud. She got I've forgotten the story. Yeah, so let's find out the answer. So,
are you ready there?
No, I don't know.
Left.
Okay, everybody, so this is your chance to pause it, yeah?
Here's the answer. The police were sure that Mrs. Smith lied to them because the window was broken from the inside. If it had been broken from the outside, little pieces of glass would have been on the room's floor. Number 5. Murder at school.
All right, okay. Okay, let's do this one. Murder at school, yeah, considering tomorrow is Monday. Let's have a look at this one.
On the first day of the school year, a geography teacher was murdered.
The
police had as many as 4 suspects. They were the gardener,
right,
the math teacher, the coach, and even the school principal. Yeah, I vote for the principal.
Yeah.
Now, the sticking point was that they all had alibis.
Right.
The gardener was cutting bushes. The math teacher was holding a mid-year test.
Let's go back to that one again. Hang on.
The police murder at school.
Okay, one more time.
On the first day of the school year, a geography teacher was murdered. The police had as many as 4 suspects. They were the gardener, the math teacher, the coach, and even the school principal. Yeah, I vote for the principal. Now, the sticking point was that they all had alibis. The gardener was cutting bushes. The math teacher was holding a mid-year test. The coach was playing basketball. The principal was in the office. Despite this, the killer was arrested immediately. Can you guess who killed the geography teacher and how the police solved the mystery? You have...
Right. So it's the first day of school. The gardener is cutting things. The principal's having a meeting. The coach is playing basketball. And the teacher was having a midterm exam. And they immediately arrested the murderer of the geography teacher or something it is. Any ideas? I think I know. I would say it's the whoever he is. Is it maths teacher?
15 seconds to find the killer.
Blood on the shears. The giveaway. I would say it's the teacher.
The killer was the math teacher.
Hey.
According to his own words, he was holding a mid-year test, but the crime happened on the first day of the school.
At the beginning, it's the first day of school, and he said a mid-year test. I'm a teacher, so I pick up on this stuff, everybody. Although he looks like the principal, and he looks like the teacher, eh? Anyway, okay.
School year.
That was number 3.
How to lie better, don't you think?
Yeah, defo.
Number 4.
Okay. I think that's enough I don't know. What should we do? Shall we keep going? We'll keep going, lads. We'll keep going. Okay, let's talk. So, what do I do now? I need to go here. Talk to Hugo. Hugo. Spoke to Hugo. Okay, there's nothing to do there. Elizabeth. She's quite upset. Okay, anything there? Anything there? Okay. Anybody? Let's go to the... How do I get out of here? Let's go to the pantry. And we can have a chat with the staff. And then we can stop and we can have some lunch. While speaking with Monsieur Beckers was not the reason for me being up at this hour. He was able to fill in some of the blanks regarding the Major, but not in getting any closer to discovering the killer. Perhaps the staff living quarters will. I think I gotta go downstairs. I'm not on. Where am I? You got it. Blood on the shears. Where is this? I think I need to go downstairs, yeah? Ah, look, here. Okay. Okay, come on. Because it's over near the pantry, isn't it? There you go. Come on now. Here we go. Down the stairs. Okay, good. So, that was Hugo, right? Again, not a bad person, I think. Just, he has some flaws. He has some human flaws, which is like basically his like ego, I guess. His ego got the better of him. And although he wants to help the common man, as Armac says there in chat, his ego got the better of him. And butler's pantry. Where am I going? Staff quarters, I think it's here, yeah? I hope everyone's ready. Okay. The quarters, this is where they all sleep. Wow. So, bunk beds, everybody. Bunk beds. These double beds. Come on, where's the cake? Where's the cake hidden? Logs? Ooh. Logs of wood, everyone. A decent supply of logs. I just hope the staff also get to make use of them with this weather. It's very snowy outside, of course. All right. Let's go here. There's the bunk beds. Oh, what's this? Okay. Here. There's nothing to. Oh, hang on. What's this? Luggage. Bags. A war medal that I assume must belong to the Major. What? The Major's dead. A war medal? Interesting. Abandoned clothes. A rather luxurious jacket. The initials read FH. Felix Hagen? Are these scruffy boots his as well? Why would they be left here, though? Oh my god. The vultures, everybody. Scruffy is like the opposite of tidy, you know what I mean? But scruffy boots, they're old, they're a bit frayed, they're a bit worn out. Why are Felix's clothes the items I have found are most intriguing and require an explanation that I believe only the staff can give. I shall meet them in the pantry.
Detective, what can we do for you?
I am angry, everybody. I am angry. We have some questions.
You can help me by telling the truth, and in the process, help yourselves.
Help yourselves by telling me the truth and don't lie to my face. Let's start with the Scottish fella.
Sorry, Detective. A bit late in the night for riddles.
Riddles, everybody! Riddles!
It is no riddle, monsieur. If I do not receive the truth, you shall all be charged as accessories to murder.
Oh my god. Murder! To be involved as an accessory to help with a murder. Poirot is angry, eh? This is him furious, yeah? Absolutely flying into a rage. He's seeing red, maybe. He's so angry.
Detective, I think maybe you have been locked in this house for too long. We have already...
Oh boy, don't say that, Archibald. Don't say that, that's wrong.
You have told me a version, and now I require honesty.
Yeah. If that's possible, Archibald. Right.
Monsieur Sterling, is there anything you would like to add to your story?
Like a phone call.
I'm not sure what you think I have done, Detective.
Oh, I don't think it, Archibald. I know it.
Let us not string out this charade any longer.
String it out, to extend it. The telephone call the Major received. Can you explain why a medal belonging to the Major was amongst your belongings? Do we go straight in, or do we do this? Let's go for the medal.
Oh, you found it. Thank you, Detective. I've been looking everywhere for it.
Oh, really? Yeah, and it just happened to find it in your bag. Yeah, what a coincidence.
If I had lost a war medal, I would not stop until I found it.
Exactly, Hercule.
It's not what you think. I was...
What do I think? What do I think, Archibald? Say it.
Exploiting a dead man's military achievements for your own personal gain?
Nothing of the sort. He asked me to clean them up. I must have dropped it into my pocket when I was putting them back. An honest mistake.
Fair enough, Archibald. That sounds completely, probable. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It fell into your pocket. Hercule is disagreeing with me, everybody. Never have I heard such a pathetic excuse to explain a stolen item in one's possession. I would expect a better life from a child.
I wouldn't know.
It's valuable. Sorry, I meant to read that out. I would expect the medal to be valuable, and Archie, our boy Archie, is saying, "Oh, I got no idea, man."
Your father was in the military for many years. That is what you told me.
Army family, army boys.
He was.
And your family still keep his medals?
They were sold.
Oh.
And why was that, monsieur?
Is my family on trial now, Detective?
Yes, Archibald. Now just tell me the truth.
Only you, monsieur.
Ooh.
And I repeat my question.
Ooh, very hard. If I was Archibald now, I would have a thin film of sweat across my brow.
Because we needed money.
Oh, he's looking sad.
Voila.
There it is. Monsieur Sterling was well aware of the medal's value when it found its way into his belongings. You claim the Major asked you to clean his medals for display purposes? The telephone call. Let's just keep going with the medal.
No. He keeps them safe with some of his old military documentation.
Is that a typical job for the head butler?
He trusts me to do a good job. I told him I used to clean my father's, so he asked me to do the same.
Okay, good. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
And where does he keep these items?
In the storage room. I know where everything is, so it's just easier if I fetch them for him as and when he needs them.
If I fetch them, if I get them, yeah, like the dog, Yeah, to bring. I do not recall seeing any military memorabilia or keepsakes when I was in the storage room. Could there be another storage room he speaks of? Keepsakes, like family stuff that we remember, you know what I mean? Yeah, memorabilia and keepsakes. Okay, let's talk about the telephone call. The time you were speaking to the Major when, in fact, the telephone lines were cut.
From his associate. I've already told you, Detective. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, good.
Do not worry yourself on such details now. I suppose they were lucky to have called when they did. Otherwise, they may not have gotten through at all, with the telephone lines being down as of yesterday.
Oh, do not worry on such details about who was calling. I suppose they were lucky to have called when they did, yesterday. Otherwise, they may not have gotten through to get through to someone. I'm trying to get through to customer service. To get through to all with the telephone lines being down, being cut as of yesterday. So since the telephone was cut yesterday, this, everybody, is a trap. He has laid a trap for our boy, Archibald. That thin film of sweat across my brow would probably be now drops of sweat going down my nose, and I'd probably start crying as well.
Aye, Detective. Lucky, I guess.
Lucky, very lucky, yeah? What do you mean by that, Hercule? Monsieur Sterling is no fool. He's smart. I believe he is aware I suspect him of something. Perhaps some carefully worded questions are all that are needed for him to slip up, to fall. You were the last to see the Major alive when you brought him the bottle of whiskey, correct?
Whiskey?
Ooh, look, whiskey, WHISKY is the spelling. I think I did this in the YouTube community page with the spelling. So there's two spellings for whiskey, WHISKY and WHISKEY. And what's the difference? Well, if it has an E in the word, WHISKEY, it's Irish whiskey, yeah? Everything else is like Scotch whiskey or American, like bourbon whiskey, Japanese whiskey. They're all like this. If it has an E, it's Irish whiskey. There you go. My job is done.
You took a bottle of whiskey to the Major. You spoke with Monsieur Demire en route.
So, you took a bottle of whiskey and you spoke with Monsieur Demire en route. Who's Demire? Monsieur Demire? Oh, jeez, I've forgotten. Who's that now?
Aye, of course. It was a bottle he picked up from his last visit to Scotland. Rather smoky number from the Highlands. He was saving it for a worthy occasion. Drowning his sorrows must have been fitting enough.
Okay, look at this word, I. Okay, so you often see this with Scottish people and people from like the north of Ireland. They say I as in yes. Are you going to church tomorrow? I. Yeah? So it just means yes. It was a bottle he picked up from his last visit to Scotland. A rather smoky, very smoky taste from the Highlands of Scotland, north of Scotland. He was saving it for a worthy occasion. Drowning his sorrows must have been fitting up. To drown your sorrows is like if you're really sad, like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, I'm really sad. So what do? I drown my sorrows. I go and buy a bottle of whiskey and I get really drunk, yeah? So if someone's like they're miserable, they're sad for some reason, something's happened, and they're kind of drinking excessively, we say that they are drowning their sorrows. At first, he does not remember a bottle at all, and as if by magic, he recalls the exact details. He's lying to us again, everybody.
Or was it the one from the West Coast? You'll have to excuse my memory, Detective. It's not what it used to be.
Are you happy here? In the happy house?
It's certainly better than my last.
Tell me more, tell me more.
You are paid a fitting wage for the work that is asked of you?
I'm sure the lady of the house would not want me discussing it, but I should not complain.
Yes, I should not complain. He is complaining. He's complaining not directly. It's what he's not saying, I think, is how you would say that. Yes, it's by what he's not saying. He's expressing his, and not just his sad face. I should not complain, but he wants to. Now,
That is
me,
not
on
the
the other
most
hand, I would be
convincing
complaining.
answer,
I would be
monsieur.
whining. This is not the most convincing answer, Mr. Archibald. Okay, how are we
Between
doing?
you and I, we all work very hard here, and it would be nice if we were rewarded for it.
Right. They're not getting paid enough. It seems Mr. Sterling is trying to convince me, as he has himself, that his light-fingered actions are justifiable due to the petite wage he receives for his honest work. So, he's trying to convince me, like he's trying to convince himself, that his light-fingered actions. We say in English to have light fingers means like you steal things, yeah? So like he has light fingers, he stole the medal. And this is a justifiable way. This is his justification because he has a small salary. He has a small wage, yeah? Wage is just a synonym for salary. And he doesn't get paid a lot, so it's okay to steal a medal.
Please don't go anywhere. If I require more information, I shall call on you again.
Yeah, stay where you are. All right, we can do... okay, let's do two more. Let's go for Inge.
Mademoiselle, I shall keep my questions brief.
Short.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Sweating like Prince Andrew. Be nice, Armac, who does not live in Brighton. Be nice. Inge, you've told me a lot already.
You have been honest with me so far. All I request is that you continue to do so.
Oui, détective.
I am already aware of Mademoiselle's involvement with the blackmail, but I am not sure if she is also connected to the Major's murder. So, Inge was being used by Margot, the Comtesse, to spy on people, to spy on people in the house. And that's how Margot got her information. For example, that the Major was the father of Angeline, you know? So Inge was like, a spy, basically, feeding her information. And we found this out, and we've had this conversation with Inge already. Now, but we're not sure if she's involved with the Major's murder. Tell me what happened before you found the Major in his study, Inge, and don't leave out anything.
It was frantic in the pantry. We were working hard to make sure everything was up to scratch.
Okay, it was frantic. It was really, really busy. I had such a frantic day today, yeah? We were working hard to make sure everything was perfect. If something is up to scratch, it's passable. Yeah, it's good.
Go on.
Continue.
Then Liz burst in, asking for Maman help.
Her help with what, exactly?
I don't know. She took Liz to one side, and I was needed in the salon. We spoke just after that in the pantry.
Right. So, Rihanna took Elizabeth because she needed her. Inge was really busy, and then we spoke just after that.
You did not question what she needed help with?
I was too busy. I love Liz, but she sheds a tear at almost everything these days. Although, I have never seen her look so pale.
I love Elizabeth, but she cries at almost everything these days. Although I never seen her look so. Well, I have never. That should be, yeah. I have never seen her look so pale. There's a couple of typos in this game, but I think this happens most games. There's always a few mistakes. Mademoiselle Elizabeth still looked pale when I saw her earlier. Pale, to be white, you know, like if you're sick. Yeah, if you're not feeling well, you often look very pale. I understand the amount of work that goes into keeping a house this size running, to run the house, to make it function, but Madame cannot expect the staff to work if they are ill. Oh. Perhaps Mademoiselle Rihanna can clear up the reason for Elizabeth's panic.
Merci. I shall return if I have any further questions.
Right. I'll be back. But I think Ingate's okay. She's been honest with us at least. Let's go talk to Rihanna from Barbados.
Mademoiselle, I shall be as quick and precise with my questioning as possible.
So she's kind of like the matron. She's the mother figure to all the other workers here, yeah? Whereas Archibald is like the father figure, I suppose, yeah? I shall be quick and precise.
Okay. What do you need?
Okay, what do you need? Okay. My condolences on your brother's passing. So her brother, Luke, who Elizabeth was going to elope with, he was killed. He was killed at the factory strikes. Passed away. Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle, I know we have spoken on this, but you took ice to the major, correct? Tell me about Elizabeth. Well, that's not what we want to find out. We want to find out about Liz.
What is there to say? Being locked away in the pantry, I don't see her for most of the day.
Okay, so she's in the kitchen cooking.
That may be. But she came looking for your help before dinner was served, did she not?
Correct.
She wasn't feeling well, that's all.
And she came to you.
I told you, we are a family here. The girls come to Mama Reh if they have a problem, and I fix it.
When I saw her earlier, I must admit she was not looking herself. Perhaps I should check on her.
No, just leave the poor girl. She'll be fine after another bowl of my homemade soup. She just needs her rest.
Bit suspicious. I'm sure Mademoiselle Rihanna is a loving mother figure to the staff while away from their families, but her eagerness to keep me away from seeing Mademoiselle Elizabeth again does not sit comfortably. Okay, so we've got two choices. My condolences on Luke dying, being killed, or, excuse me, I know we have spoken, but you took ice. Let's go to the brother, yeah?
Merci. He was a good man. Taken too
Very
easy.
suspicious, I agree. No, you know, don't open the door, don't go in there. Yeah, it's a bit suspicious, isn't it? Yeah. He was a good man. This is Luke we're talking about, yeah, who passed away. He was killed at the strike at the factory. He was a good man. He was taken too early. He was in love with Elizabeth. They were going to elope to Las Vegas and get married by an Elvis impersonator.
Forgive me, mademoiselle, for not extending them earlier, but I was not aware of your relationship.
He was my only brother, and he died doing what he believed was right. If I ever get my hands on who took him from me...
I swear to God, if I ever get my hands on who took him from me... Shouldn't really be saying that to a detective when there's been a murder. You know what I mean? Not really a good idea. I'll kill that guy if I find out who did this. Because we kind of know it's the Major, right? I understand why she's so angry for her brother to be taken from this world at such a young age, and in such a violent manner. Violence cannot be met with violence, but I am sure Mademoiselle feels the same. Tell me about your brother's involvement in the riots. Very suspicious, says R. Mac, who is not from Brighton. Okay, good. Tell me about your brother's involvement in the riots. Excuse me. I know we've spoken on this, but you took the ice to... Right, so she took the ice to the Major. The bottle of whiskey, was it from the West Coast or the Highlands?
Yes.
All right. That is a good short answer. Confirmation, everybody.
This was before or after Archibald took him a bottle of whiskey.
With no E. Right. Did she take the ice before or after? Before.
You are sure?
It may have been after.
Which one is it?
The whiskey is kept in the cellar with all the alcohol.
It is.
Then you must have noticed him going into the cellar and returning with a bottle through the pantry, no?
Yes, I suppose I did. It must have been before then.
It took only one question for Mademoiselle to doubt her own story. What I still cannot see is why the need for the lies. Why is everybody lying to me?
You say the riots, but it was the strike he was part of. They started the riots, not the workers.
By they, you are referring to the security forces. They were brought in to keep the peace.
Very doubtful.
Security. Huh?
Ah!
They were brought in to make an example of them. It was all peaceful until they arrived.
Right, often the case, yeah?
Why would they need to make an example?
To make an example of someone, to kind of go hard on someone, you know what I mean? So other people don't do it.
So that the workers would stop rallying. No one is going to go on strike if they think they'll get killed.
True enough. By rallying here, I think they mean like demonstrating, yeah, to demonstrate, to protest. So you have, in Spanish it's manifestación, no? But like in English we say it's a demonstration or a protest. And if it turns violent, if people start fighting or they're fighting with the police, we call that a riot, a riot. So yeah, they were making an example of the workers. No one is going to go on strike. Better pay, better working conditions, if they think they will get killed. It's a valid point.
Security you talk of were armed and ready. The workers were pigs to the slaughter. What chance did they have?
Right. So they were tooled up. Yeah, the security was tooled up with weapons, and the workers didn't stand a chance. It is obvious Mademoiselle is still upset about her brother's death, and rightly so. If the events were as she describes, I cannot comprehend how the security forces were able to get away with such despicable acts of violence. To get away meaning there's no kind of punishment. To get away with something, yeah, I got away with it. Despicable, horrible acts of violence.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Okay, I think that is it for today. Let's go and check out and see if we can drink some of this alcohol. Is this a bottle? No? Okay. All right, good. Very good. We're moving the game, everybody. The game is moving. We found out who the blackmailer is. There's definitely something fishy, something very fishy about Archibald and the whiskey and the major and the ice. They were very suspicious how they did not want me to go and see Elizabeth. Very suspicious. We haven't seen any of the socialites today. Yeah, we haven't seen Margot yet, so that'll be probably in the next day. We seem to be focusing on the employees, on the staff, and there's something going on there. Definitely, I think. Yeah, there's definitely something going on. I think I'm going to leave you there. So listen, if you've enjoyed this, yeah, please press like. And if you want to make me happy, you know, sometimes I check on YouTube and I see someone has subscribed. It makes me smile. Yeah, so you can make me smile by pressing the subscribe button. You know, it's a very easy thing to do. Okay, and we'll continue with this next week. I've had to move from Saturday to Sunday because I've been working on Saturdays. I'm back to work, okay? And we'll continue that. We did some riddles. we did, yeah, so the word of the day was riddle, right? So kind of a puzzle of words. And we will continue with more of Hercule Poirot. Episode 19, Jesus, it's going on, isn't it? Yeah, episode 19, next Sunday, 11:30 Central European time. Oh, maybe it's not. Yeah, I suppose it is still anyway. So it's about 1 o'clock here, just after 1 o'clock, 1:15 in Sunday afternoon. So there's plenty of the day left. And I hope you have a good weekend. What's left of it, yeah? And I'll see you all the next day. So don't forget, press like and press subscribe and make me smile. You see what happens. Have a good day. Take care. And I will see